Hello, Eicca. It's Rowan. How are you?
Hello, Rowan. I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well indeed, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to speak with you, and thank you very much for your time.
No worries. My pleasure.
We're absolutely thrilled that you'll be visiting us for Soundwave 2015, and I have to say congratulations on your magnificent work and such deserved tremendous success.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice words.
My pleasure. You personally started playing cello at the age of 9, is it correct?
Yeah. Pretty late for classical. Yeah, it's quite old. For classical music.
And it was 1993 that Paavo, Max and Antero started playing Metallica at the Sibelius Academy in Helsinki. What led you to link with heavy metal and cello?
I don't know, from the very beginning what's the link. I think that in our case, the main link was that we were big metal fans. Besides, we were classical fans. So we just wanted to start to play. We actually realized that, the cello range, we knew that from the other group. I played on the other group. It's called Total Cello Ensemble nowadays.
Yeah.
And I played on that, and we played all types of music except heavy metal. But I knew that, cello ensemble is very suitable to play different music styles. Absolutely. Because of the range of the instruments and the character and the variety of the instruments. So that was the reason why we started to play those Metallica songs, because we loved the music, and we thought, okay, these are the only instruments we can play. Let's use those. And for us, it was the most natural thing in the world, and we were so surprised that people were so crazy about it. And but I think music is always music. I don't categorize music too strongly. I listen to all types of music. I can find the feelings I want to hear from all different styles. So for me it was like I've grown up like I'm a half metal, half classical guy. From my younghood. And I can't really separate. I can't really separate those.
Understood completely. It was only 3 years later that you released Plays Metallica by Four Cellos. Do you remember when you decided to start including your own works?
I remember very well. It was actually already end of '96. I had done already maybe 20 to 30 different arrangements, metal arrangements for Apocaliptica. Even we recorded just the Metallica ones. We released just the Metallica ones. So end of '96, we did a Christmas single for Finland. And I did an arrangement of the Little Drummer Boy, that Christmas song. And I made the arrangement totally free from the original. I wrote a lot of new parts. And that was a turning point. I was like, maybe I should try to write a full, like a real own song. And I wrote Harmageddon. Well, Harmageddon was the first song I wrote, and that was already first single of the second album. Even it was instrumental. It was different in the 90s. You were able to release an instrumental single. Not today anymore, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes, indeed. Did you receive any feedback from the original artists after releasing Inquisition Symphony?
Yeah, we got good feedback for the record, and I think after the first album, a lot of people they say that this is the novelty act. It's fun for one album, but it can't go on. Then we did the second album. Then people said, okay, but what next now? And then we're still here.
Indeed, yes, you are, and with a vengeance, I might add. And of course, in
so we were working hard and pushing hard against the windmills, but but I think that was the turning point. And then after the second album, it was obvious that we started to find our identity. When we did the first two albums, we were just a bunch of guys, bunch of friends, who played cello and want to play heavy metal by cello. But after the second album, after making tours for a couple of years and making 2 records, we really started to find that we need to find our band identity. And only way to do that was to write own music. And that's what Cult was basically all about.
Most
the
certainly.
Original songs, which are what I wrote for the band.
Yes, indeed.
And since then, it's been like, there's been no no go back anymore to be a cover band,
Exactly, and of course, 2003 we enjoyed the release of Reflections, which was all your own works. When did you first realise that your particular style was going to be successful?
Never.
Never? I think it's time that we admit it's very successful.
It's really like we never had kind of master plan. We never thought, okay, this is what we are trying to archive. It's been always like we've been focusing on the album we've been doing, and just putting the focus on that. And it looks like there's been something good on that thinking, because that's the reason why we still exist. That every time we just we don't think where this album is going to lead us. It's like, just let's make the fucking great record, as good record as we ever can, and we do the record. And what happens after that, it's not in our hands. We do all the touring, what we can, and then when the touring comes to the end, we stop, and then we start to think for the next album. Usually we don't, think, okay, then we do after this, we do that, and we do that. So that's also one reason why the albums are so different from each other, and the combination of the band and the whole structure for the albums has been every time different.
Most certainly, and what a wonderful theory to have. It must have been such a thrill and a vindication to a certain degree to have James Hetfield and Metallica perform live with you. Do you remember how that felt at the time?
Of course, that's kind of, people always used to ask when we had a lot of guest appearances on the record. People used to say, well, what would be the next? What would be the ultimate thing? Obviously, of course, it's like doing a song with James. But we've been in touch with Metallica since '96. That was the first time we opened for them. Wow. End of '96. That was kind of, it was bizarre, because it was like a fifth public performance for us, for the crowd, and we were already opening for Metallica. That was ridiculous. But since then, we've been in touch with the guys, and that was really cool when they had this 30th anniversary a couple of years back. We shared the stage with them. We played 2 songs together with them, so that was really cool.
Absolutely tremendous. Have you been back to Australia since the 2012 tour?
No, that's the only time I ever been in Australia, and that was really a really exciting trip, and we felt totally in love with the country and with the people in Australia, and we are really, really excited to get back now with the festival tour. It's really cool.
Indeed. And were you well received?
I don't know why.
Sorry, go ahead.
Please, No, I don't know why it took us so long. I think it's maybe because of the distance, and therefore of the expenses. How expensive for the band is to travel to Australia from Helsinki. Maybe that was the reason, or maybe the timing didn't work. For the market. I don't know what was the reason that it took so long for us to come there. It was 2012, or was it 2013? Yeah.
Sure. And did you find you were well received by Australian audiences in the last tour?
Yeah, I think the Australian audience is great. It's like a combination of UK audience and American audience. It's really like people are really passionate. The whole scene in Australia seems to be like that people are really passionate. If they really like something, they really go for it. And the club shows, they were totally crazy. It was really great. And we were really surprised that we have so much fans in Australia, and I'm sure that our relation with Australian fans is getting better and deeper in the future.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly, and hopefully we'll see a multi-generational appearance at your next show.
Yeah.
It has to be said that your latest album, Shadowmaker, is, I don't use this word lightly, it's brilliant. It's due for release in April of this year, and I have to say congratulations. How was working with Frankie Perez?
First of all, thank you for your nice words.
My pleasure.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that you like the album, even you haven't heard the full album, but still, I know you have the pre-mastered sample.
It's only 7 tracks, but it's astounding so far.
Yeah, there's some outstanding instrumental stuff coming up as well, but for the record. But working with Frankie, that was really cool. I think we were really lucky that we found him, because it was very beginning of the summer, like June. We made the decision that, okay, besides having guests on the record, let's try to find the one guy who can make the whole album and can make all touring with the record. So we started to search people, and we got a lot of suggestions, and we went them through, and we tested 5 of them, asked them to send us a recording of I'm Not Jesus. Then we picked up 3 of those to make actually a little part of Holding My Soul of the new song.
Yes.
And Frankie was obvious choice, and it was very different to work on the record comparing to the previous albums, because when we had the guest vocalists, we actually many times we just recorded the songs, and some the vocals were recorded somewhere else, and we didn't have a chance to work on the arrangement and on the song together with the singer. Sometimes I co-wrote the songs with the vocalist.
Yes.
But this time now, when Frankie was involved, he came first. He came to Helsinki. We rehearsed the songs in the rehearsal room. Then we went together to Nashville to the producer studio for 1 week to do pre-production, to get the songs to the next level, arrangement-wise. Then we had another production week in Helsinki together with Frankie before we started to record the album. So it was much more organic way of working, having him in the same room for days and weeks, with the material. And I think in general, this album is the process of preparing for this album has been much more band-driven than in the past. Sometimes in the past, some songs that just came, on the very last minute, and we didn't have a chance to even try to gather those songs before we started to record those.
Yes,
so,
of course.
And this time, everything was more like thought through so many times, played so much. And for everybody in the band was able to put their own personal impact on the final arrangement, and to define their own parts for the album. So it changed. It's changed that having Frankie really, gave us so much freedom.
Of course, and
many times, in the previous albums, we had a lot of songs. We were talking with this and that singer. And we didn't know, even in the middle of the recording, which songs, for 100% sure that, which songs are going to happen and which are not going to happen.
Yes, indeed.
In the business world, music business world, there are too many managers, too many record labels involved. That's a fucking mess. And now it was just the band in the room and the producer. And that was lovely. I loved it.
Wonderful. And did you find that producer Nick Raskulinix was a successful influence? Yes,
I knew his stuff from a long time ago already.
Yeah.
And I always thought that he would be great. I heard good things about him from people who worked with him, that he's really great. And every time when you start to work with a new producer, you guys don't know exactly what to expect, so it's like an open field, totally.
Sure.
And he was just a great influence for the record. He was really great influence. He really was able to push us, to get all the things to the next level, and really I think his impact on the arrangement and the structure of the songs, it was really big.
Oh, tremendous!
And
it's almost
of the feel that everybody was so inspired. He was really inspiring. That's the key word. He was inspiring, really inspiring.
So I'm having trouble deciding what backstage amenities a cellist would desire. Do you have any peculiar requests on your rider?
No, not really.
Nothing interesting?
I think No, I think our rider is kind. The problem is that we have a German management, and the Germans, they don't have humor. They don't have a sense of humor. So every time we try to do something funny, they cut it off. So, but we used to have, and maybe we need to fight it again, because it's a good rule. We have there needs to be on the backset. There needs to be a local miss or 2 dogs.
Indeed.
Actually, to be honest, we prefer the dogs.
Oh, perhaps we can request something very, very odd and interesting for Soundwave to keep them on their toes.
But nothing is better on the tour. You miss home and everything, and you get some dogs. You can spread them and hug them. It's the best therapy. It's the best tour therapy.
Magnificent. But I have to ask you, how difficult has it been evolving in the Finland music scene, particularly in the early days?
In which music scene? Sorry.
In Finland.
In Finland. In the beginning of the band, it was cool. Everybody was like blown away with the whole thing with the first record. Yeah. Then I think the classical words. And the whole thing of the second album kind of turned against us in here, and we stopped touring here in the end of '90s.
Yes.
And we didn't make too much noise about how successful we were outside of Finland. It was like, I don't know, maybe we became too successful suddenly, and then people always say that Finnish people, they're very jealous. We are a very small nation. And it was kind of the feeling that, people turned their back because we started to be too successful. And I think it took almost 10 years that we got it back in here. And nowadays, of course, everybody is happy for us and support us. And we are a big influence on the music scene in general. I've been always taking part of the music policy here a bit, not too much, but a bit. Yes. And I've been helping the music export thing a lot, to get money from the government and to get tax regulations changed. That we have stupid laws in Finland, which are not fair for musicians and all kind of things that how can you make a corporate out of yourself, like every other profession can do, but the musicians can't. and all that kind of stuff. So I've been involved very much on different kind of things, and it I think something about appreciation says that I am actually at the moment I'm writing together with Perttu, my other bandmate. Yep. We are composing an opera for the Finnish National Opera.
Wonderful!
They ordered a full classical opera from us, which is going to be premiered next year, January 2016. January is going to be the premiere. So that actually shows how the atmosphere and how it has changed. That we were just at some point we were just like whatever fucking losers, who should play classical music and stop being stupid kids. and now it's like we're stealing the job from the classical composers. So I think it's pretty cool.
Most certainly. I have to apologise. We're actually out of time, and I have so much I'd like to ask you. Hopefully we can catch up for a chat again later on. But we're very, very excited that you're coming to Soundwave 2015 and very much looking forward to it. Congratulations again on your magnificent work so far.
Thank you very much. We are so happy to come to Australia. Maybe we can hook up for another interview during the festival.
That would be fantastic. I would love that. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
We'll catch up in Melbourne.
To have a face-to-face interview to get more deep in details. Yeah.
That'd be wonderful. Thank you for your confidence.
Hey, that's cool. Nice talking with you.
Lovely to talk to you too, and thank you again for your time today.
No problem. Thank you very much, and see you in 1 month or so. Yeah.
Indeed. Yes.
Take care, man. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.